basically, we thought we'd go over the board with you guys, basically just show you different sections. So we've got the Wall of Shame, which there's only 4 cigars in there, thankfully. Our best of all time, Cubans, Dominican, Nicaraguan, others, and our sub 20 board. So we're going to start from right to left and save the best till last. In our sub 20 board, now obviously we've done this in the view of not everyone wants to spend a load of money on cigars, so we thought we'll try a load of cheap cigars, see what's the best we can find.
So the top of the sub 20s.
Espinosa Laranja Reserva, $10 stick, absolutely superb.
To be honest, that was a good stick for $10. I do remember that. That had the. Did that have the orange on the band?
Yeah, that's it. And it actually tasted. It had orange notes in the cigar.
To be honest, I had forgotten about that until right now. That is a stick I would pick up.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. If you're looking for a cheaper cigar, I mean that is definitely up there for sure. So next on the board, we've got the Camacho Rum Barrel Age. Now, there's a bit of a sad story on this one in the fact that you can't actually get them anymore. They actually discontinued these cigars, which is a bit of a shame because Camacho, I mean, they're probably one of my favourite Camacho cigars. They basically did like a rum barrel age and a whiskey barrel age. It's a huge shame that they stopped making them, but unfortunately they have. I've still got some left over. I've got about a couple of packets left, but yeah, when they're gone, they're gone. So if you do spot those when you're out, definitely pick them up. Because
Personally, you really like them, and yeah, I did like it, but I'd rather buy a Brazilian Gold.
They're 2 different styles of cigar, though.
I know, like, but I'd buy the Brazilian Gold.
Would you?
Yeah, I mean $7, no, $10. Come on, yeah, it's like you're not going to find anything for this, really. But that was a good stick. And that Flor de Copan. I was
about to say, we're not going to go through every single cigar in all the list, but we're basically going through the top section. Obviously, if you want to read the bottom ones, you're more than welcome to. The Flor de Copan, now, Flor de Copan, the short Robusto, £7 stick, brilliant cigar. If you want to top the Flor de Copan for the same money, they do a
Perlas,
yeah, Flor de Copan Perlas. Now, we haven't put it up on the board, I don't believe, but
we haven't had one.
I've still got quite a few left, so we will do one.
Bring them over.
Yeah. To be honest, I think it would go fairly high up on that board. But yeah, Flor de Copan, general rule of thumb. Again, this is only personal opinion, but I've tried the bigger ones, I've tried the smaller ones. The smaller ones have the best flavours. The bigger ones, they sort of like lose some of the depth of flavours to them, to be honest.
But I'll be honest, even though that brand is still worth investigating, all of the cigars, because they are pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, for the money, they're a really good cheap cigar. So
yeah, well, that's the sub 20s. So
moving into the other now. The reason we've done the other is they're not Nicaraguan based, they're not Dominican based, they're sort of like a blend of all areas. So yeah, basically we've put some of these in a separate section. Now, straight away at the above at the top is one of my favourite cigars ever, the COO Amazon Basin Aneco Extra. So basically this is an extra aged Amazon Basin.
It's good.
Really good. Yeah. If you like darker cigars or slightly bolder cigars, I mean it's just an obvious go-to. I used to smoke a lot of T52s, but realistically I prefer the Amazon Basins, I think.
And to be honest, they have got a nice story about they transfer the leaves down the Amazon on riverboats. But I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of people out there that haven't tried that cigar. I do see on a lot of the different forums and groups, there's still people that haven't had them.
Yeah.
So definitely worth trying if you haven't. Next is the Plasencia 146. Now,
Coseca, if you're not aware, Coseca is crop, so it's basically crop 146. Again, brilliant cigar, lighter cigar, but yeah, really good flavours. Just overall a really nice cigar. I really rate those. I know Darren did as well. So.
If I actually look, I've actually got. I haven't got any of them because I haven't seen them since. I've actually got one of those. I've got 3 or 4 of them. Oh, I've got 3 or 4 of those, 7 or 8 of those, and yeah. So we're talking about that one. Now that crop is 146. Now once they're sold, they're sold. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's why the crop numbers always change, because it's different crop. They release a different cigar. But Yeah, that's a good cigar.
Definitely.
The Casta Torrent, 1880, and that's the double Robusto. That, if I remember rightly, that had some nice coconut in it.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. Yeah, the blue labelled cigar.
Yeah, I've actually got the rest of that box set to go through. So
I've got one of those. I've got one of those cigars which you very kindly gave me, and
it's a double Robusto. It's a nice size.
It yet.
You should, definitely a good cigar.
Yeah.
So I've definitely got those.
Again, moving on to like darker stuff. I say we won't go through every single one, but if you like darker cigars, EP Crillo Pledge. I'm sure you've heard of it. It was Cigar of the Year. Good cigar, but very dark, strong. So yeah, be aware of that if you are going to try it. Again, darker cigar, T52. Again, very good stick.
T52. That was a Toro.
They're a bit of a legend, really. Like I mean,
the price of those now, they're just going up so quick.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
We need to do the T9 as well.
Yeah, I've got
and
two.
the Flying Pigs.
T9s. I've got two. They're almost like Churchills. They're massive radio sticks. I've got two of those, so I'll give you one at some stage.
But yeah, I will just say I'm going to jump down. Rocky Patel Edge. All the edges I've had have all been pretty good cigars. Even though it's not the top of the list, it's definitely it's well worth having a quick, rummage if you can go to a cigar shop. If you do see the edges, they're not expensive. That is the Maduro. They do, I think they do 3 or 4 different ones, but yeah, that's one I would definitely try. So there's the other Rocky Patel Edge there. If you go on to the Nicaraguan section.
Right here, so at the top, Davidoff Small Batch number 5 Bellicoso. Now, that is a really, really good stick. Now, unfortunately, if you haven't found them already, you probably never will. They only made, off the top of my head,
6,000.
Yeah, there's basically they come in packs of 10. They had 611 packs, I think it was, something like that.
Just over
6,000 sticks total ever made. I was lucky enough to pick up 1 pack of them when I was coming back from an airport once, which is a bit of a lucky find, really.
And that was in Switzerland as well.
It was in Switzerland, yeah.
That's another reason we're thinking of going to Switzerland. We know where there's a couple of good places to potentially get some really nice gems out there.
Definitely. So yeah, very, very good cigar. That has plenty of the Arturo Fuente frankincense flavour in it. Really, really good little stick. That is very expensive for effectively a small cigar, like effectively a Robusto size.
Smaller than a Robusto, isn't it?
5.5 is pretty much bang on. Yeah,
okay.
About 52 to 54. But yeah, really good little cigar that is. Aging Room Quattro box press. I mean,
that's a good cigar.
It's a good cigar. You've probably heard of it. It was Cigar of the Year. It was Cigar of the Year for a reason. I mean, they're a good cigar. I've still got some of those sat in my humidor as well. I haven't smelled in a long time, but yeah, very nice cigar. So moving down, if anything which really stands out, I'll tell you, something which stands out to Darren is the Drew Estate Black on M81 Robusto. That was one of the strongest cigars
we've had
in a little while. Yeah,
I mean,
not strongest, but stronger cigars.
You felt it that night, and where I hadn't eaten, and I had already had a cigar before you turned up.
It floored Darren pretty well.
Knocked me on my backside.
It was if you like strong cigars, definitely try one of those. They do some larger ones than the ones we tried as well. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't fancy my chances finishing one of those.
So you got the Alfombra there as well. Now that's a cigar that you always see in Spain. They're like €5.
Yeah.
And I've seen. I have seen them at €2 and €3 before.
Really.
In some shops, yeah. So that there, if you see them as a cheap stick, they're actually a very good cigar for the price. Like you can't buy anything at that price.
Yeah, for sure.
Dominican.
Yep. So our Dominican section right here. So at the top, Fuente Rosado Sungrown Magnum Super 60.
So far of all
that is awesome.
So far, if you go this way, that is the best cigar in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I completely agree.
It's very good.
Basically, it would be a tough call between the Magnum 6 Super 60 and the 54 Rosado Sungrown. I mean, both of them are brilliant cigars. Me and Darren were talking about it. It's like it's hard to say which one is at the top of the board. The only reason we put the Super 60 at the board is just because it's a bigger, longer smoke. The flavours in both are superb. If you can get hold of either of those, definitely worth a try. I mean, under that, again, another one of my favourites, the Opus X Angel Share. I've got some of these now. they're just a really, really nice cigar. Again, it's just that typical Fuente, frankincense, that odd flavour you just don't really get in many cigars. Yeah, I just really rate them, to be honest.
So then you've got the the next one, the King T.
Yeah, Fuente Chateau.
That was a really good cigar.
And a large cigar as well.
Yeah, see,
Nice.
and when I'm looking at this list, I'm sort of remembering these cigars now, and it does make me want to buy a lot more of these cigars.
I know the feeling.
But that King T, now that was a very good cigar, and that was in a nice tube as well. That was. Oh my God! And that Millennium after that.
Now I actually haven't tried one of those. I know you did. But
I can't find another one.
Really? That's a shame. I would like to try. If I do spot something when I'm out away on holiday and stuff, or I will definitely stream and get hold of a couple. To be fair, I might buy in the UK if I find some, but
Well, they're £70 in the UK.
a lot of money, isn't it?
But to be honest, when you look at it, you could spend obviously, you can go and buy, these around the like 20 quid mark or the 35, and that Davidoff for 70. Is it worth that 70 quid?
Yeah.
But do you know what? The flavours with that Davidoff, that Millennium, were amazing.
Really?
Yeah. For that reason, yeah. See, it's close to being as good as this one, but the problem is, it's all these here are so close together. It's unbelievable. Eye the Shark.
Yeah, another good Fuente cigar.
Yeah.
Another good one. Box pressed, basically like a torpedo box pressed. Just another great cigar. Another one which I've actually got a few of in my humidor as well. I do quite enjoy those. Other than that, I mean, like, reality is like most of the stuff up there, I hate to say it, Fuente has smashed the board on the Dominican side. Most of their offerings are really, really good. I'd solidly put them up there as my favourite New World manufacturer. I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. we got 6 in like the top sort of 8 or 9 cigars. So yeah, it gives you an idea of how good the Fuentes are. Further down that list, the Mir Pyramid, very expensive cigar.
Yeah. It was too expensive for how.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's a complex.
I'd rather spend. Which one are we talking? This one, aren't we?
Yeah.
Now that was 58 quid. I'd spend the extra 14 quid on buy that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, but even though it was done okay.
So, yeah, I mean, moving on to the Cuban section. So this is got to be one of our favourite lines on the board. I mean, it is for me.
Well,
to be honest, for me, I mean, I'm out of these two sections. Well, obviously best of all time, but I mean, the Cubans, Dominicans, personally,
we had to actually relabel all the labels to make them smaller to fit on the board.
It was literally all the way down the board, yeah. But yeah, basically in the Cuban section, I mean, we've got the Juan Lopez Selection Especial at the top, £70 cigar, but very, very, very good cigar. Again, I haven't had one of those yet, have I? You've had one, I know you have.
I've got some in my humidor, but the problem is they're so expensive, they're sort of now put away for a special cigar, you know, very, very occasionally. If that was £30, £40, I'd smoke one a week.
Oh, for sure, yeah. For sure, definitely. So, down from there, I mean, Remolones Gigantes. Superb cigar, very large size, flavours are just excellent on them. I mean, I haven't got a bad word to say about those, they're a really, really good stick. Moving down from that, I mean, most of these, this is basically like, effectively a list of our favourite cigars going. Connoisseur, again, just absolutely cannot fault them. Diplo Spanish.
Connoisseur, that's a very good cigar. I've actually got some Connoisseur B. We're going to be doing a review soon.
Yeah.
And I do have the A's and B's when I'm relaxing at home because they're just a very good cigar. But then again, so the Diplo Spanish. Parada too.
Now those as well. Now they've got some age on them. I tell you what, they're transforming into a real superb cigar.
I've stopped smoking mine because I want to leave them.
Yeah, I've done exactly the same. Yeah.
So the problem is, even though I've got a few boxes, the problem is I can't buy any more.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
totally agree.
Yeah.
In 5 years' time, they are going to be exquisite, I think. I mean, moving down the board a bit further. I mean, Magnum 54.
No, Bolivar Gold. Gold medal.
Gold medal, yeah,
You
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
That was.
Yeah, you
that
can't,
was.
you can't skip that. That was good.
That was very good. I've literally got a couple
there
of
is
those.
there is only one niggle with that.
£110.
£110 a cigar. That is.
That's the most expensive Cuban on the board so far.
It is, yeah.
And for that money, I wouldn't buy it. But
I'd rather have 3 Diplo Spanish.
the thing is, it was a very good cigar. I've actually got I think it's number 3 or 4 or 2. I don't know. I've got some left still.
Yeah.
And those there, I didn't realise how much I was going to enjoy them.
Definitely.
And I'm also want to smoke those other Bolivars I've got. What were they called?
I can't remember.
I've got some other Bolivars I want to smoke. But yeah, moving down.
So yeah, moving down. Magnum 54 again.
No, Wide Edmundo, that Monte Cristo. That was better. That was a really good cigar.
Yeah, to be fair, that was good. Yeah, do you know what? That was what I'd say. I don't really smoked a lot of Monte Cristo, but yeah, when I tried that, I mean, that was really up there as quite a good stick, definitely. So yeah, again, a couple more favourites. So yeah, the Wide Edmundo, superb. Upman Magnum 54. I mean, looking back at it, the only reason that isn't higher is because of the big hitters above it. If this was in a different section, I have a real strong feeling that would be at a high place on the board. It is a very good section. Most of this section are pretty close, to be honest.
They are. Well, no, I once you go past the gold medal,
Yeah.
then you're into another section, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the E2. That's a really good cigar. The Ramon Alonas. Yeah, those little cigars, they were good.
Yeah.
The 50, I think I've gone off them a little bit, you know. I've had a couple since doing that review, and I'm in two minds about it.
See, I'd be very tempted to. I'd be tempted to swap the Choice Supreme above the 50.
I was just thinking that actually.
Yeah.
But this is the problem. It's how you feel on the day when you're actually rating the cigar.
And if it depends on how many of the actual cigar you've tried as well. If you've only tried like one of them, like realistically, you need to try like 2 or 3 of the same type of cigar to really appreciate it, for sure. Because you do get slight variances between sticks sometimes.
You will, but the problem is you wouldn't get a review every week.
No, exactly. You know? Yeah.
What else have we got?
Yeah, I mean, we'll do a couple more and we'll move on to the next section. So off we got Superheroes, Magnum 50, Choice Supreme, Huntman number 2. That was a good stick. I really enjoyed that actually.
That was a very good stick. What else have we got there? Huntman number 2. The San Juan, I like that. Monte Cristo Double Edmundo. Just looking for a stick that stands out, something that I can go, God, yeah, I really fancy one of them.
I'll tell you what, do you know what? I'm going to throw it out there. The Quintero Favoritos. Now, I'm going to bring this up just because, although it's £22 here, if you buy them abroad, they are I'm going to say, without saying the price, they are exceptionally cheap cigars. And I mean, they'd be well under the sub 20 set, well under.
The last box of those I bought were just over £100. £100, yeah.
They work out about €2 or €3 each. Yeah, they're cheap sticks.
Yeah, I think
very cheap sticks.
Yeah, they were over £100, but I can't. Maybe £110, £120, something like that. Box 25.
They're not long filler,
short filler,
but the flavour in them is brilliant for the price range. I mean, you're talking about Cuban filler in a cigar, which is literally a few euros. I mean, you can't get.
I mean, that's the cheapest cigar on the board. When you the next cheapest.
No, it's not. There's Candlelight.
I bought you some of them for Christmas.
Oh, yeah, cheers, mate.
Yeah, look on the board. That's the cheapest cigar Cuban we've got.
Yeah, for sure.
And even though it's down below, at the bottom, I still rate that cigar.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
If I was going to a cigar shop,
if I were just a cheap Cuban cigar, like just a quick cheap daily, I mean, like I'd go to those all day long. They're brilliant.
Then if I was in a cigar shop right now, and I was on a budget, I'd buy those.
Oh,
if I had some space left in my luggage and I had some space in my allowance, and I thought, you know what, I want to take the maximum, and I couldn't find anything, those Quintero, I would see them, and I'd be happy.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, because I could throw them in the humidor and forget about them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, that's the Cubans really. We've got plenty more Cubans and some other New Worlds coming soon. And then we did this best of all time list.
So you're going to see some repeats here from the other board, but we'll run through them very quickly because we've already got them. So the Juan Lopez Selection Especial, Ramon Alones Gigantes, Upman Connoisseur A, El Rey del Mundo Choice Supreme, Diplo Spanish, Flor de Rafael Gonzalez. Now, That I haven't actually put in the Cuban section. It's just gone straight into the best of all time. As you've probably heard from me ranting on and on and on, it's one of my favourite smaller cigars. Sierra Amazon Basin, again, absolutely cracking cigar. And the Fuente Magnum 54 Rosado. I mean, like, if you want a really, really, really good cigar, anything in that list, you are not going to go wrong.
And the way we work out which is going in the best of all time, it's got to be a cigar that me and Chuck both have bought multiple boxes to put in our humidor, or want to. That's what...
Or you're like, oh, I really want a cigar, and then you also ask, you go, oh my god, can you remember how good that cigar was? Like, that is what is in this section. Yeah. I mean, they are absolute showstoppers, every one of them. It's brilliant. And then we move on to the sad end of the board, the Wall of Shame. I mean, there's only 4 cigars which have made it into this section. The Partagas, and again, I will reiterate, this is Partagas New World, not Partagas Cuban. Partagas 1845 Toro. Pretty much, it's gone to the top because it was that bad. The top of the board is the best of the worst. It was basically like smoking swept up garden sweepings. That is the best way I can describe it.
It was. You can't even say it was that good. It was terrible.
Okay. The Candlelight. I mean,
that wasn't that bad.
Is the cheapest cigar on the board, and although it wasn't that bad, like for me, I don't smoke cigarettes at all. Darren does. So Darren's could sort of get past that a little bit, but for me it tasted a bit artificial and a bit chemically, and just like it was not my sort of
It was a cigarette cigar, that's what it was.
100%. If you smoke cigarettes and you want to have a crossover, which doesn't cost anything, you'd probably absolutely love them, to be fair. Just being honest.
To be honest, if I bought a dozen of those boxes, and if I literally went to a pub or a club and there's people smoking, if I pulled out one of my Cubans and people would say, oh my god, you know, this, that and the other, if I gave them one of those, loads of people would like it.
Yeah.
And the stupid thing is, if instead I pulled out a Connoisseur and gave them one of them,
they probably wouldn't know the difference.
It's not a case of wouldn't know the difference, it would be too big for them, It would smoke too slowly, and it would be too strong for them.
Yeah.
So that's where that cigar sort of is.
Michelero Corona. Now, I will add on to this, although it is in the Wall of Shame, that particular cigar wasn't great, but I have heard from a few people that a couple of other ranges are actually not bad at all. So I think we are going to actually review a couple more of those at some stage and give them a bit of a fairer chance.
That's the one that didn't smell too good, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it, yeah. So it could have been an issue with the actual cigar itself. Like, in reality, we should really give it another go.
Okay.
But yeah, basically, we'll see if we can get a couple of different Micheleros, because like I say, I have heard a couple of them alright, so we will give them another bash. And at the bottom, Partagas Cortado. Again, this is Partagas New World from America, not the Cuban Partagas. Yeah, what can I say? I mean, that cigar was terrible.
No, it wasn't terrible, mate. It was worse than terrible.
It was, yeah, it wasn't great, yeah.
It all depends on your flavour, I'll be honest. I mean, if you're somebody that knows what they like and you like a certain cigar, if you're trying something that isn't nothing like that, and it's, in your opinion, you know, you don't like smoking old ashtrays and, you know, dirt from the garden.
Yeah. Oh dear.
But that's what it tasted like to us. We both said it.
If you're a new smoker, like, I mean, you might actually like them, to be fair. It might just be where our palates are a bit
not
more
necessarily newer. We've been very spoilt with some of the cigars we've had.
I totally agree.
Not only where we've done a lot of travelling, and you know, we've been very lucky to pick up some very good stuff. If that hadn't happened, and we didn't do any of the travelling, that board would have a lot of low-end cigars.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe our views would be different.
Yeah, totally.
But the only thing I do know is I won't be smoking another one.
No. So yeah, that's basically the end of our board video. Lots of you had asked for us to do it, so we thought, you know, we've got a bit of time, we'll sit down and go for it now. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions on any of the cigars as well, like if there's anything you want to know about them, please feel free to drop a message in the box below. Drop us a comment, and obviously we will come back to you on our next Herf video. Yeah, other than that, thank you very much for watching.
Do you know this is the first video that we're not smoking in?
Really?
It is.
Hang on a second. I feel it better now.
No, it's the first video we haven't had a cigar going.
Wow, that's the start of a slippery slope.
We have got, I tell you what, I will tell you guys, if you've made it to this far, I've actually got these. Now these are little cigarellos, or shorts, or whatever you want to call them. We'll be doing a video trying all these because they look really cool.
Yeah, they do, to be fair.
And I've actually had one of these packs before, and so have you.
Yeah.
And we both agree on the same one.
Yeah. Is
a really good one, but we haven't tried the other three. So I think
if you want to find out which pack that is, check the next video.
Yeah. And basically, you've got 2 different types of Monte Cristo, 2 different types of Partagas. Unfortunately, the Trinidad and the Cohiba, I've smoked them.
Sweet. So we won't be doing those.
But I will look to see if I can pick up some more. But cool. That's coming. But thanks for watching. Please drop us a comment. And like I say, Chuck was saying, if you want to know more about Cigar, or if you think, now you've seen the board really close up, where do you think, you know, some of those cigars should be?
Do you think some of them are in the wrong place? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it would be interesting. And if you don't just go, oh yeah, that cigar, it should be at the top. Tell me why.
Yeah. Not to mention, if there's one on there which you absolutely love, there's a high chance that we've smoked something very similar to it, so we might be able to give you a difference in opinion, or maybe another stick you should try as well. So yeah, if there's anything you really like, well, I mean, like, yeah, stick it in the box below. What are your top favourites? Is there anything you change on there? Is there anything which we haven't got on there which you think would go to the top?
Yeah,
Let us know.
We are going to doing some more New Worlds and stuff. We're going to do more New World videos because we are sort of hitting the Cuban section quite hard.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so thanks for watching, and drop us a comment below and subscribe, and see you in the next time.
Take care, guys. See you later.